November 21st, 2025. Today's deep thought is related to dating. I think I just read it. What the deep thought is, so I've not utilized this as a strategy before, but I thought, I was thinking about it today, and it seems like probably kind of a smart thing to do, maybe. And in saying that, I think I realize that there is no actual formula that is foolproof that will guarantee anything at all. But here is the thought. I guess this is probably entirely influenced by what I'm experiencing at the moment. And that is, maybe it's best to save the heavier questions, the things that might be a little more intimidating, for a third date or later, even. Because I think those heavier questions, things like life goals, what are your plans for family, what does the future look like to you, or what do you hope for, that sort of long-term, bigger pictures, sort of motivations, that sort of thing. Well, it'd be nice to kind of knock all that out in date one. Date one is probably not the right place for that. I think date one is more kind of getting a sense of each other, sharing space, sharing the room with another person in real life versus texting or over the phone or whatever. And date one is kind of more of a vibe check, kind of sensing the chemistry a little bit. But also, I think date one can't be expected to be very determinative. I'm not sure if that's really a word. And I think, in general, for at least the way I feel like I need to operate, is that outside of like a bad date one experience, you really shouldn't lean on date one as any kind of real gauge about what the potential success of a given relationship might be. I think because of all the confounding factors, that it's really, people don't always behave very similar to their true selves in date one. And, maybe even that statement is totally far-fetched. It's more like people really never behave exactly how they are in date one. And even if there is one of the two people behaving in that manner, that still is not a very good gauge of things, because odds are not good that they're both going to be behaving perfectly synchronous to their typical selves. So the actual information you get in that sense just cannot really determine what's going to happen. I think people take a little time to kind of understand each other a bit. Date two, maybe you could get into the heavier stuff on date two, but I kind of feel like that's maybe the more true view of each other. Again, it's just a small level higher than whatever you get on date one, but it's potentially, there's a lot more potential there. But because I don't think you really want to be wasting each other's time, at least giving it 3 dates is just a kind of a nice gave it the college try sort of attitude, I think. Not expecting to figure things out in dates 1 and 2, allowing 2 to be a little more free-flowing, and then maybe date 3 is where you might try those heavier kind of bigger picture concepts, which means I think doing a more private kind of date, in a sense, like, you know, in a place where you're happy to talk about whatever suits your fancy, that and that both people can be kind of free about it and comfortable and not feel like they need to be guarding anything based on the environment or whatever. So I guess what I have outlined is sort of just a basic 3-date structure as the kind of game plan to maybe get a good read on a person and really kind of both not waste their time, but also still get a good sense of who they might be and how your 2 lives might fit together. And yeah. So yeah, that's my thought of the day. In that, well, I'll kind of run through the day. It was a productive day. I got up and I was able to get my flight tickets for the upcoming shoots. Still, and I spent a lot of time on the phone with the customer service people about my account. Apparently, I had over 150,000 or 130,000 miles stolen. So they're trying to get that recovered and figured out. The afternoon, I did my walk. I texted a little bit with the gal about potentially getting a 3rd date. We had a little bit of back and forth, and then I asked about the date potentially for next week, and she stopped responding, so I don't know if she's ghosting me or if she just got sidetracked by work and whatnot. I did text her at a bad time. I know she was in the middle of work, so I can kind of let that be the current reason, and then maybe I'll find out soon if I lost her completely, even though it seemed like a positive vibe. So yeah, anyway. And then I did some prep for my shoot this weekend. Just went to the storage unit and got the rest of the gear I needed. And then I went to ping pong in the evening. And then after that, hung out with Boyd for a little while, kind of chatting about usual Boyd stuff. Well, not about him, but just things that we chat about. And then I came home and continued cracking along on graphic stuff. So I made a lot of good progress there. It's way later than I need to be awake. Tomorrow I probably will take off not long after I wake up. And yeah, that will be the plan of attack for the weekend. I have a gig on Sunday and then a gig on Monday, and then I'll be back here to work on my graphics and whatnot for the upcoming shoots. There we have it. Hopefully all of that made sense. Hopefully that my thoughts of the day there's some little nuggets of usefulness. I don't have a call to action, I guess, related to that stuff, but I am going to attempt to adhere to it. Beyond all that, thanks for swinging by, it easy. Until next time.